Okay, so this video is going to talk through the area of a triangle. I'm just going to do it all in one video. So I'm going to start with two basic examples of how to use the formula. So as I've said, use the formula. The good thing is that this comes in the exam formula sheet. So whenever you see area of a triangle, you are thinking this formula here, A equals a half AB sine C. So these two are straightforward because it's already set up exactly how we need it to be. I'm going to do A first. So area equals a half AB sine C. The reason I've said it's already set up the way I need it to be is because A and B are two sides. So say this is A and B. C, the angle, has to be in between the two sides that you have. So just be careful as you go on to maybe further exam type questions that might be a little trickier. They might give you the other two angles so that you know that you have to find the third angle, the one that's missing, so that we can only use this formula when you have the two sides around the angle. So we do in this one, so that's absolutely fine. So area equals a half AB sine C. We then just substitute in our numbers. So that means the area equals a half. A and B doesn't matter which one's which, as long as it's the two around the angle. So a half times 8 times 5 times sine 75, because that's the size of our angle. So we're just going to put that into our calculators. So use the fraction button. 1/2 times 8 times 5 times sine 75. Close the brackets. Equals. So if it comes up something like this, you just need to be sure to press the SD or the FD button to put it into this decimal form. So I'm just going to copy that down. So I'd normally just copy it down 19.318 ... so that you can see that you've got the answer from the calculator, 318 ... and then we can round it. I'm going to round this one to one decimal place. So 19.3, because the next number is a 1, just stays as a 3. It's area, so we have squared centimetres. I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm just going to go through this one. If you want, you could pause it. Just follow, do this question, and then just check my working after you've done it. So part B. Again, we look at the formula sheet. Area equals a half AB sine C. We check that the angle that we have is in between the two sides that we're going to use. This one is already set up, ready to go. Area equals a half times 10 times 15 times sine 125. We put that into our calculators. A half times 10 times 15 times sine 125. Area equals 61.4, and we're in meters this time, so we've got squared meters. Oh, I did exactly what I didn't want you to do. I wanted you to show an unrounded answer first, 61.436 ... and then you put in the rounded answer. Right, we're going to move on. I'm going to do maybe a slightly harder question. So down here we've got calculate the area of a parallelogram. Not something that we have been taught at National 5. So we're thinking, what do I know that I could find out this one? So well, actually, if I was to split this in half, I'll split it this way. Split that in half. Now I actually have two triangles. And because I split it exactly in half, this triangle is going to be the same area as this triangle. As you can see now, with this triangle here, I have an angle with two sides and the angle's in the middle. So I can use my area of a triangle formula to find half of it, and then we're going to double it at the end. So area equals half AB sine C. Area equals a half times 12 times 30 times sine 60. So a half times 12 times 30 times sine 60. Close the brackets. So we're just going to change that into decimal. So write the unrounded answer first. 155.884 ... Then we can round that to 155 point, that 8 is going to go up to 9 just because the next number is an 8. So 9 squared centimetres. So we've got the area of the triangle, but remember we're just trying to find the area of the parallelogram, which we know is going to be double that because we've split it into 2 different triangles. So it's 2 times 155.9, 311.8 squared centimetres. Oh, sorry, you can't see. 2 times 155.9, 311.8 squared centimetres. You could now pause the video and try this one if you want for yourself. And then I'm going to look at one more example here. I'm going to look at what it might look like if we're not given it in the way that we want it set up. So I'm going to look at this one down here. Calculate the area of triangle ABC. AB is 14, AC is 17, and angle ABC 110 and BCA is 47. So right now we have 2 sides, 17 and 14, but we are actually missing the angle that is there in the middle of the 2. So we want to find the angle that's missing. So we know that the 3 angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So we can do 180 minus 110 plus 47. So 23 degrees. So we know that this one here is 23. Now we can use our area formula as before. Just make sure you use the right one. So area equals a half AB sine C. Area is a half times 14 times 17 times sine 23. And put that into the calculator. So we've got area as 46.497 ... So we're going to round that to 46.5, and what are we in centimetres? So squared centimetres. And that's all I'm going to cover in this. So you can maybe have a look at some of the past paper questions on area of a triangle, or go into the different tab on this on OneNote to look at some of the other questions you can try.